welcome back everyone to Master Game Design, Unreal Engine 5 Stylized Environment and Third-Person Blueprint course. In the last lesson we left ourselves off with a simple harbor area, and we basically got ourselves the starting point over here at the harbor. Now we need to continue on and start building off to the side, and for that I think we're going to make use out of the ones that we already have. So this section over here, we're just going to grab this entire thing like so, move it off to the side and kind of reattach it back off onto the edge. Let's go ahead and do that real quick, like so. I'm just going to actually turn off the gray box for now, just see how this would look like, making sure there's like no proper gaps. And we probably need to, we need to lower this down by quite a bit, like so, just like that. All right, this looks quite nice. Let's go ahead and keep it. So we have two variations of this wall, one with the sewer, one without. It's really up to you which one you want to place it, but I'm just going to go ahead and just check how this looks like. Actually going to turn off the harbor items. So this one has none and this one has none. So yeah, we can go ahead and just basically do it to our whichever way we want. So I'm just going to, I think, keep one in the middle just for the sake of a small symmetry over here. Move this other section without the sewer part over here to the side, and we might even need to bring it backwards a little bit. I'm thinking if we should, or if we should just grab another wall as a wall for that. The reason being is that I quite like the positioning as is right now, this continuing off to the side and the sign looking quite nice over here. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep the positioning as is, and then I'm just going to grab these couple parts, bring it off to the side like so, just like that, and like this over here. All right, so we'll need to make sure we set up some elevation off onto the side. And as for this section, we can just fill it in with this basic type of a setup over here. I think I'm just going to holding Alt, going to move it off to the side. Now we can either, for this larger part, we can either make another extension, another duplicate, or we can extend this entire path a little bit ourselves. Really depends on the type of a texture that we have. So let's try out the second method first and see if it works. And this might work quite all right. It doesn't seem like it's too stretched out because it's a neutral type of a noise. It doesn't have any detail, like for example, like hieroglyphs or anything of the sort. It's not going to be quite as visible. So that's going to be quite all right. Now for this other part, we can actually, we're going to basically set it up in the same kind of manner as we had this one over here. But the easiest way would be to actually go on to the upper view and just grab a duplicate out of for this, like so. Just going to select it like so. Actually, seems like I have another selection. Oh, and I forgot to lock in the persistent level. Let me just go. Persistent level. Let me just go ahead and lock this out, and this way we're not going to be moving it out of the way. We can hold Alt and just kind of make a duplicate out of it. I'm just making sure that I'm making a selection again, just in case there wouldn't be any duplicate mistakes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just reattach it just like that and see what I can do with the end part. So I think I can just go ahead and grab this part at the bottom, and also we'll need, I'll probably need to grab this section over at the side as well. Actually, this looks quite all right. I'm going to go ahead and hold Alt and just put it off to the side and see how this looks like without the gray box. And yeah, that looks quite nice. I think that will work out for us. The only thing that we need to maybe consider is going to be this base section over here, which I think I'm going to leave it as is. I'd like to ideally have a bit of sand dunes on the side a little bit, kind of work ourselves with some terrain in later on. So for now, I'm just going to intentionally leave this gap as, we'll need to work with the terrain itself later down the line. Okay, so this section, I'm just thinking which way we should go, to be honest. Whether we should go to the left or to the right, and I think we can go to the right. We're going to completely ignore this elevation for now and work on it later down the line. For now though, I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this part over like so, drag it outwards just like that, and that will look quite nicely. I'm going to make sure that I check this section over here And as for this part, I don't really want to use the same type of decoration. If we go onto the references, the main shot, we can zoom into this part and you can see that it actually has a different type of a look, slightly different look. So let me just go ahead and find the right type of a harbor part. I don't think we have anything in here. Let me just go back all the way to the end over here and let me just search for them real quick. Harbor over here, like so. And yeah, we're just going to make use out of this. Actually, that'll look quite nice. Let's go ahead and make use out of it. I'm going to go ahead and select both of these platforms actually, since I want something underneath as well. This looks like just the right size. Going to hold Alt and just drag it outwards like so, and then just with a normal left mouse button, I'm just going to drag it outwards afterwards like so. So basically the first time we duplicate it, the second time we're just moving it out. And we're just going to then reposition this on top of one another, just like that. I think I'm going to keep it like so. And yeah, this will look quite nice. Let's go ahead and grab this entire thing. Going to just put it up to the side, just like that. And let's see what we can do with it. All right, so this is going to be quite a large one. And I'm just wondering which best way would be. We might even make this platform quite a bit larger itself. Ideally, I want this platform to be just right in the middle. I'm going to maybe stretch it out. I'm worried that it's going to mess up a little bit in regards to the texture itself, the texture quality. But I think that's actually going to be quite all right. I think it might work out. So I'm going to basically duplicate this entire section, click E, then rotate this 90 degrees, just like that. Sorry, not 90 degrees, 180 degrees. We need to make sure that it's kind of like mirrored. So this way we have ourselves a nicely mirrored part on both ends. I'm going to actually go into the water itself, see how this looks like. And I just realized that we might have a bit of a gap over here. So let me just go ahead and fix that up real quick. But I don't want this to be like super straight. So I'm just going to actually, I'm going to grab both of these, bring it upwards a little bit so there's no gap, then put it off to the side and just maybe scale it outwards just like that. I don't think we need to make it too big of a gap over here. I think that's going to look quite all right. Okay. And by the way, I'm clicking G to go out of the game view and into the game view, and basically it's hiding all the gizmos, all of the highlights and whatnot, so we're able to quickly tell if it's like looking nice within the scene itself. So using G is really important for whenever we want to grab that nicer aesthetic. And yeah, I'm just going to make use out of it, kind of position it like so, and we might even make it smaller just like that. And there you go. That is looking quite nice. I quite like this overall setting. Quite like this overall design. And maybe even smaller, just like that. Oh, I'm going to click Control Z to make sure I don't undo my selection. And yeah, the only thing that's left is going to be, over to put this at the very end, I'm going to hide the gray box for now, just like that. And I'm going to start duplicating this out of the way. The only thing for now is that, as you can see, this is actually overlapping, and because it's exactly the same height, it's going to give us this result. And unfortunately for this part, it's not going to work out because there's a nice overlap and there is no way to keep it straight. So what we can do is we can actually lower it a little bit. I am going to turn off the snapping to grid real quick, and then I'm just going to lower it just by a tiny amount. Just like that. And it's a very dirty type of a fix, but as you can see on the top, it's not going to be there anymore, that gap that we had previously. I'm actually going to click Control Z. Yeah, another way, instead of just having it like so, we can have the ledge to work in our favor. And the best way of doing it is instead, going to click Control Y. There you go. Instead of just trying to hide it, we can actually just exaggerate a little bit. I'm going to make a small ledge like so, and I'm going to turn on the grid actually this time and just make a ledge like so. So it is going to look just like that, and in this case it might even work out for us because it's going to look like it belongs there within this pier. So there you go. It's going to be lowering down a little bit like so, and there's going to be consistency with the steps. We've got to make sure that the height is basically the same throughout. So I'm just going to raise it up a little bit more of an extra, and there we go. All right, so now one more thing is probably there's going to be that kind of ledge over here, which I don't quite like. So I'm going to go ahead and try fixing it. And the way I will fix it actually is I'm going to probably just duplicate this around to the edge like so. And just like that, I think that's going to look quite all right. And actually, we might even grab all of these parts like so. And just grab it even higher. Just like that. There we go. That's looking quite nice. There is a bit of a ledge over here, but I think that actually quite fits quite nicely over here. I don't like this part, so I'm just going to go ahead and fix it. The easiest way to fix it would be just to kind of get the height of this a little bit more, like so, and just kind of hide this out of the way, like so. There's a bit of a gap over here. Going to take off the grid, snapping, and just kind of move it in manually, just like that. So there we go. Now we hit this away, and now we have some ledge over here, but we're running out of time, so we're going to continue on with this in the next lesson. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in a bit.